Welcome to the Brown Spade podcast show. Today I have a very, very, very special guest. But before I get started, I got my right hand man, Cleveland Akins. And today I have my special guest. He's 1995, 1996 SEC champion for the Florida Gators, Demetrius Lewis.
What's
What's going
going
on?
on? What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man? I'm gonna go
All
ahead
right,
and
all right.
just say good evening, good
Yeah, man.
afternoon.
Welcome to the
Hey,
show.
hey, I appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna correct you right quick.
Yeah, please.
1996 national champion.
National champion.
Yeah, 1996 national champion. We won it in 95, which I was redshirted that year. We won the SEC, and then like I said, 1996 we won another SEC, and then also we followed that up with a national championship that 96 to 97 that January. So there you have it, fellas. What's going on, Cleveland? How you doing, brother?
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Cleveland, how you doing, bro?
Congratulations. Chilling,
Yeah.
man. Chilling.
So today's topic we're talking about life after sports. But before we get to life after sports, we want you to dive in on when did you start your career? How did you start your career? Because we know this show is going to be trying to inspire uh, young men, young boys who's coming up, and or their father watching, and they can watch this show, and they probably can identify with you who watch you throughout the years.
Yeah,
So go
yeah.
ahead.
Now, when you talk about career, you talking about the career as in playing sports.
Your collegiate, yeah, your collegiate. You can
Okay,
start from
okay.
your high school if you want to.
No, no. Like I said, I'm born and raised, man. Born and raised. I'm an Atlanta boy. I'm a great baby.
Okay.
West Side Atlanta, born Hollywood Road. Then my folks, we moved over to the east side of town,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I was kind of traveled, so every year from kindergarten through pretty much 10th grade, brother, I was at a different school. I kind of grew up a little different, but it was a blessing when I look back at it. So
Right.
started playing football around 6th grade, and it was something, man. It was just something that just I kind of wanted to do it, but just growing up and always being place to place, I really never could really afford it, to be honest. And
Right.
I got a break. I got a coach. I went to a school because I went to a lot of different elementary schools during that time period. So I ended up meeting up some kids, and they played ball also, and they got me involved, and it kind of snowballed, man. So I did that. I played 7th grade at a park called Browns Mill Park out in Lithonia. Now I'm staying.
I'm familiar with Browns Mill.
Yeah.
I'm familiar
Now
with Browns.
check
I
now
know what
check
that's
this
at.
out,
I
man. I
know
was
what that's
Yeah.
staying
at.
in the East Lake Meadows area, in East Lake, but I was going all the way to Lithonia, and at the time that was country, and when you was from Atlanta,
Right.
when you
Right.
went
Yeah,
out
yeah.
east, that wasn't really popular like it was. How Outcast made it. 86 Lithonia to the Gator. So
Right.
I ended up playing, doing very well. I was running back. You might even remember Old Bar Hardwick Ghost
Yeah.
on the show. He was on
Yeah.
our team. We had a lot
Hardwick.
of
Yeah.
yeah, we had yeah, I had a lot of guys out there that I got a
Yeah.
chance to play with during this time period on a little league team. He actually was a good running back himself, and I think he ended up playing at Georgia for a little bit.
Yeah. You played at
So
Georgia.
yeah, so after the little league, I went and I played at Columbia High School, 8th grade. So at the time, Columbia was 8th through 12th grade. It wasn't no middle school back then. It was just after 7th grade, you was in with the big boys. So
Right.
and I was back then you was hungry because that's from 7th grade. That was what I was always faster. I was always one, I was tall. I wasn't too big, but I was tall and lanky. And I never
Right.
really did start lifting weights. And for parents that's listening, don't have your kids lift any weights until they get into the summer of their 8th grade year, going into their 9th grade year. So
Yeah.
don't let these kids grow. Let them be kids and have a good time. But anywho, man, I did well in 8th grade. I was at Columbia, and then I ended up starting varsity my ninth grade year at at a school at Columbia High School, which a lot of great athletes there. You had Warren Gaston that was believe it or not, bro, he was the top football player coming out of '95 because I graduated high school in '95.
Gotcha.
Top receiver, and right behind him was Randy Moss. But Randy Moss was Mr. Basketball, and he was, so they kind of did a flip flop. Warren Gaston ended up going to Georgia Tech, playing with Bobby Cremon, and as we know, Randy Moss became Randy Moss. He ended up going to I think he started off at Notre Dame, and then he went to Florida State, and then he went to Marshall. So he was, he had a little story too. But so with that being said, man, I went to Columbia. I played there. Went to Southwest Cab. Um, had a good time there, man. Had a good career, man. We was always, top team in the country when I was there. We was number 2 high school USA Today All American team. We had Quincy Carter, Angelo Taylor, Terrence Trammell,
I
guys
remember.
that we are Olympians in real life, gold medal, silver medalists, first black quarterback to play with the Dallas Cowboys, Quincy Carter. You
Yeah.
had myself on defense. You had Jermaine Stringer. Just a lot of guys, man. Out of my senior class of '95, bro. It's probably one of the best stories. It's a YouTube out on it. You can check it out, man. But off that one team alone, I think we had like 37 guys get scholarships. That won that '95 year in my high school, man, and it was nothing to walk in the cafeteria during the February month and see, Terry Bowden, Bobby Bowden, Coach
Yeah.
Spurrier, Jackie Sherrill, Johnny Majors. That was just January through February at my high school, '95 and '96, and then shortly after that, man, I was coming out. I was always in the top 5 DBs in the country, coming out of high school. So it was always myself and Charles Woodson, and there was another guy named Damian Hill that went to Florida also.
Okay.
And believe it or not, man, it was Javon Curse with the defensive back. So it was like, out of like the 5 DBs in the country, Florida ended up getting 3 of them. Well, no, it was 3 of us. Yeah, so it was myself, Javon Curse, which he played free safety.
Yeah, okay.
But of course he moved down wheel linebacker real soon, right when he got to school. But he was picked up as a safety. And then we had another guy by the name of Damian Hill. He was from Dallas Carter down in Texas. So we were close knit group, man. I got a chance, like I said, so I got a chance to go to Florida. I took a lot of visits. I went up to Michigan State, Auburn, Florida State, and just coming out of high school, I had a chance. I was, in the top 5 in the country, so I could I can pick my poison or where I wanted to go to, but with no guidance, no father figure at that time. I was taking visits by myself. My first ever flight, first time really leaving Atlanta, and I'm first class going on the trip to Detroit, and I'm meeting Nick Saban.
So you didn't have a mentor at the time?
Well, no, sir, man. I did, but I was raised by all females, bro. So
Yeah.
it was they didn't know about football like that. So
Right.
I just so happened to have a talent, that I was raised by women. So and like I said, I was at different places a lot. Throughout my time, from kindergarten through ninth grade. So I never really had a time to bond with anyone like that. For a little bit, I had not a high school, a little league coach. But once I got into the eighth grade, man, it kind of just it kind of dissipated. So long story short, man, I ended up going down to the University of Florida, man, and had a good time. I had a good career. It could have turned out football wise a lot better than I wanted it to, but to be honest, it turned out. Looking back, it turned out probably the best for me. I got a beautiful family out of this deal. My wife went to school there. Got 3 kids. I met a lot of wonderful friends, man, that I still keep in contact with. So I had a good ride, man, and I graduated, man. So just for that experience alone and getting a chance to get a degree and just be in some of the situations, best I will not that time of my life will never, I wouldn't change it for anything.
Right. So actually, with all that being said, that experience really changed your life.
Correct. And it changed it because I could be like I could, man, just the stuff that I've seen and even some of the stuff that I've done, getting to that point and getting to school, man, is a lot of things I wasn't proud of. A lot of stuff I probably won't even talk about. Um,
Right.
and a lot of friends that that I've been around, they wasn't as fortunate as I was to get through those situations. So, once I got there, man, I stuck and that's when I got a chance to be around some people that was on my team and on my side, and I'm still good friends with them now. So I'm very thankful.
That's good. That's good. Cleve, you got any questions?
Did you get a chance to yeah, did as far as after the college,
I
what
can't
did you
hear
do next?
Cleveland for
Did you
some reason.
go to
He said he can't
um
hear you. Put your mic up a little bit.
you can't hear me?
He said he can't hear you.
Or
Uh,
repeat it for me, bro. What he
I
said,
said after college, what was the
hardest,
next
because
step?
I can't hear anything from him.
You still can't hear him, Lewis?
Hold on one second.
No,
How about now? Can you hear me now?
You
it's
can't hear him?
dragging. It's dragging on his end. You can tell me
He
what
said,
he said though.
he said it's dragging. Okay, I repeat your question so we can continue.
Yeah, I can
No,
hear
I
you
was just gonna
crystal
ask him.
clear.
I was gonna ask him.
You have to,
I was gonna
no,
ask him
go
after
ahead, Hardy.
college. What
Go ahead,
after
Cleve.
college?
Don't
What
repeat
was
it.
his
Hold
You
next
on.
go ahead,
step?
go
What
ahead,
did he
Hardy.
do next
I can
after
hear you.
college?
Hold on, Lewis. Repeat it again, Cleveland.
I said after college, what was his next step? Did he
He
go
said, what was your
to
next
play
step
professional
once
football?
when you left college? Like, what did you do after college?
Okay, well, right after college, I worked at an internet company called Derivion. So I went to school, and this is a big reason too. I wanted to talk and let you know when you go to school, and parents, when you send your kids to these colleges, do not, I repeat, do not let them just go into a major in hopes of them going to the NFL. You make sure when you get a chance to go to a University of Alabama, Florida, Georgia Tech, that we hope and pray and we wish that they all make it to the NFL, but we know it's another side to the table. So what you do is you make sure you take advantage of these schools and you make sure you put them in the college of dentistry, the architecture. You put them in the majors that's on the count that when they walk out of the door, they'll have a fighting opportunity to get a job instead of being put in public recreation and sociology and English and general business because of if the kids are like me, I didn't have the back. My parents wasn't as fortunate. My mom wasn't as fortunate to if I just majored in business, I would have a pretty nice job when I got out, and I had the degree. So I needed to get a job. I needed to get a major that could stand by itself and help me get a job, which that's what I did not do. So I was just happy to be down in Gainesville, man, and I ended up majoring in sociology and got a minor in education, and then I ended up taking some Unix, which is a form like it was internet command classes. So
Right.
I ended up doing that, and it worked out because I got a job at it was an internet billing company. That was when that stuff was first starting to catch fire, called Derivion. So I worked at an internet company for a while, and then I got an opportunity to play, down in the X with the XFL for one season. That one season they had it the first time. And then pretty much after that, man, it was just football was over for me. I always liked football, but I didn't want to chase it. And so I started back working. I worked, believe it or not, man, I worked at Enterprise Rental Car for a while, in their management trainee program, which was good. It gave me a chance to get out and experience a little bit of that corporate world. Because the internet company, that's when that September 11th deal happened, 2001. So it kind of went down, and then the XFL, that was only one season. So then I did the Enterprise, and then I worked at the Centos. They had like a medical sales department, and I did that for a while, but I kind of missed because after that time that I did play football, I missed the team environment, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, because like I said, I was raised by all women. So I kind of missed, just being with the fellows,
that bond, that brotherhood.
that bond, and just being a good listener to listen to different guys and to hear different experiences, and just the simple stuff like learning how to shave and stuff like that. I can't go ask my aunts that, or I couldn't, I couldn't. Yeah. So turn the tie and stuff like that. So I ended up 2005, man. I got a chance to I put my name down for the City of Atlanta Fire Department, and I've been there 17 years, bro, and it's been pretty good, man. I can't complain. Good experience, and what that did do for me, man, it gave me a chance to become, a firefighter, a sergeant, hazmat tech, a medic, and what that did for me is also, it opened doors for me outside of the fire department, which, it's been maybe 11 years, but I've been managing the safety of different movie sets here in Atlanta. So I've been over all the not all, but I've been over a lot of shows here. And I'm currently on Black Lightning season 4. I've been their safety guy, and I've been their medic for the last couple of years, and I've been doing this stuff straight through. So I've been doing a lot of juggling, and then I got an opportunity to start a company, that I run all the non-union medic and safety things, the safety jobs out of that. So it's been, everything's been a blessing, man. Everything's been going and trending up. So I can't complain. It's been a lot, and the bumps of not having my football career turn out the way I wanted it to, and even that, I wasn't graduated from the University of Florida and said I want to be on the fire department, but everything worked out at the very end of the day. So I can't complain, man. And I'm very thankful for all the things that happened and everything that's been given to me, because looking back, a lot of guys that had these opportunities that I wish I had, they
that career into the sports.
Yeah. Hindsight, looking back on 2000 and 99, and 98, it did pay out for a lot of my guys that I knew and that I grew up with. So I'm just really thankful that I just got a chance to just, I just kind of crawl, man. And to any parent, that's looking or listening, you when you do make it or go to the NFL, you make sure you save. You make sure you do. You make sure you live like millions of.
Hey, Louis, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but before you get into that part, I think there's a misconception, because in the Black community we think because our sons, if our son make it to the collegiate level, we automatically think, oh, he's going to make it to the pro. And that's a misconception, because it's only a small percentage that's going to make it to the pro, and that's the part they don't talk about, and that's the part that you was talking about. Get your education, get something to stand on. I think that's a message that they really need to latch on to.
Well, like I said, Hardy, man, coming out of school, bro, I was in the top 5 in the country. So from my high school senior year to my freshman year, I was tracking to be that person. But things change. coaches, the rules have changed a little bit, but my coach, Coach Pruitt, that recruited me, Coach Strong, as soon as I got there, they left. So the rules wasn't the same. Coach Charlie Strong left, and I think he went up to Notre
Wow.
Dame, and Coach Pruitt went to Marshall with Randy Moss, and they offered me that opportunity. But I was like, Coach, I feel good about this, and I'm getting I'm getting a little tick, I'm getting a little shine, but along comes another coach, and you
Right.
might not just you might not have been his type of player, but I'm not the person that quit, so I still stayed there, and I made the best out of the situation that I had. And like I said,
Right.
it's been a blessing, man. 2 kids, I mean 3 kids, a wife. Um, we all Gators, we all Gators, man. We bleed orange and blue, so
That's what's
yeah.
up.
But the moral of the story, man, is for the parents that got a son or a daughter, and I don't care if he's going to FAMU, Alabama State, University of Florida, Alabama. You make sure these kids go into these schools, and yeah, you concentrate on football, but you put that same energy into that
Mm-hmm.
classroom. And also,
Education.
parents, you make sure these guys pick a major. Not only that they just going to graduate and meet and make the school look good, because the school want to look good. We're going to throw Demetrius Lewis in public rec, and we're going to make our graduation rate look good. So when it's time to recruit another kid, we can say, hey, we got a 98% or 90% graduation rate. But you don't go look at the majors and say, okay, well, everybody's in public rec, or everybody's in hospitality, or something like that. So
Right.
just make sure you get a major, get a major that when you finish your 4 and 5 years, you walk out of that with something you can hold your head up, and people be asking you to come to work right away. And
Right.
and and for the young boys too, it's something I wish I would have did. Take advantage of being around the athletic department. Talk to these guys in sports information, internship with these guys,
Build
and make
relation.
you build those relationships. So when
Yeah.
you don't, if it don't work out, you got referees that's been coming down now during the spring practice that you can say, hey, sir, is there any way you can put me on the fast track to become an SEC ref, or things like that? That's probably one of the best jobs. That's something I wish I would have done. So this is
Right.
something that I'm telling somebody else and putting it in their head. Just work on those relationships when you get a chance to make it to these schools, because I don't see it a million times that when you graduate, and this is not my situation, because Gainesville, University of Florida, they pretty good at when you come back, people still know who you are, and they'll
Right.
help you as much as possible. But some guys they won't, some of them they'll turn. I mean,
I'm sorry. You also have a position every year. I know you were doing something with
yeah. I work with the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl as a liaison, which is it's kind of
Right.
cool. I get a chance to do and still participate with the football community and with the college football community. So it's pretty cool, and it's something I've been doing probably about 4 or 5 years now. And now that last week of December, I'm with the team, and I'm making sure that whole week goes and run well for them. So I've been doing that for a minute too. So I'm everywhere, bro. And and once again, that's due to the relationships that I did keep and sustain um, during the time when I was at University of Florida. So just once again, that's taking care of keeping in contact, and staying out of trouble and keeping your nose clean if you can. You're gonna have a lot of opportunities to get in trouble when you go to a school like that, as we all see. So just
Right.
try your best to stay out of the trouble. Try your best to talk to people, and just know that at the end of the day, man, we all the same. We all people. We all gotta die. So even though you might be at Alabama, University of Florida, Michigan, and you might be on top of the world,
Right.
life can happen at any moment, bro. And that same kid that's sitting next to you to the left, he might be, especially if they're at one of those schools, they might be somebody you need to really talk to and get a chance to know.
You might want to clean with them, right?
Yeah, and that's been kind of good for me. I mean, I got friends that I've met, man, that that's helping my daughter out, getting internships in law firms, and I'm not the guy to do it for myself, but if one of my kids needs some help and they got aspirations my daughter got aspirations to be an immigration lawyer, and I got a good friend that I met at the University of Florida that's a good lawyer, and I mean she's in that genre. We make the
Right,
call. She's helping her right away. They talk. I don't even talk to her that much. So
right, right,
it's about that type of stuff.
right. And that's imperative that you build these relationships because, like you said, you don't know who's in that class who you sitting next to because they already lined up. They come from generational wealth. Some of them come from generations of education, and here we are coming from the inner city. You like the first generation that went to college probably in your
Yeah,
family.
and a lot of it's all about getting exposure. It's all about
Yeah,
with parents getting their kids exposure. It's like what we do here is, man, we take road trips on purpose. So
right.
we went on a road trip, man, and I make sure I stop at every college. We stopped at, before COVID, we stopped at Purdue. We was on the way to Chicago or someplace, and we went to Purdue. We went to Northwestern.
Yeah,
We don't stop at Auburn before. We don't went to, of course, every time we go through Gainesville, we stop in Gainesville. So it's just something you got to get the kids exposed to.
right,
I don't care what it is. It don't have to even be football. Get these kids out there, get them exposed.
right,
The same way we can take pictures and put shit on Instagram, bro. Is the same way we can invest that time in our kids, and I don't
Yeah.
seen it, man, where people spend hours and hours on Facebook and Instagram, but yet your kids don't have, a 3.0 grade point average, and that's not asking much.
right. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got any more questions,
So
brother? Cliff?
so so can you? Yeah, I was gonna ask.
You're gonna
So
have to repeat them a little
being
hard because
that
I don't hear
you
them.
played, being that he played with
What did you say?
college,
Harder.
and some
Hold
of the
on.
players that was with him went to the NFL. Do he stay in contact with those players?
You said, do you stay in contact with a lot of your teammates that you played with?
Yeah, I do.
And
Believe it or
and
not,
The
man.
opposing, as well as some of the opposing teammates that you played against.
Um, as for the opposing team, no. But as far as the Gator Nation and the Gators, yes. We always spring football, but like I said before COVID is pretty huge. So we'll all normally get down and go back during April, the April months, and it's like Gators all the way back from the '60s, all the way up to the current Gators that everybody will come back, and it's a big networking deal there too. And and also, of course, my class of '95, which was Johnny Rutledge, Javon Curse, Reggie McGrew, Damian Hill, Doc Paula, myself, um, Scotty Bryant. A lot of us, man. Well, I was just at the cigar bar not too long ago with Scotty Bryant. So everybody knows I'm here in Atlanta. So when they come to Atlanta, it's kind of like they'll give me a call or a text and just see what I'm doing. And then the Gators just played Michigan like 2 years ago in the Peach Bowl. So I got a chance to see some of the old athletic department people like McCluskey and Jeremy Spiegler, which they helped me out a lot when I
Right.
was in school. So I mean we still do keep in contact. And then I mean the people from my high school, I keep in contact with those guys, even though they went to different schools. So we had, you know, Quincy Stringer, um,
Yeah.
Cozy Coleman, Tad Golden, so some guys, I take that back. And a lot of guys that I played in the Georgia Florida game, like Takeo Spikes and those guys, I'll see them
Well, they from
on
Georgia, so you already knew that. Yeah, you
yeah,
kind of
okay,
knew
so
them.
yeah, we came out that same class, so we'll talk,
Yeah.
and we'll always catch up when we see each other. So that's
Right.
that's pretty much it, man. It's like I said, it was a good experience. It's a good experience for any parents that's having a kid that's getting a chance to experience this. But just make sure you keep your eyes and stay focused on the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is life after football.
Right. And that's what we.
Yeah,
That's
because
what. Yeah. I
I
don't know if
I
you
was
can hear you,
reading.
so I'm gonna have to repeat what you say, clear. He can't hear you for whatever reason.
Okay, I was saying that I was reading that they were saying that 78% of the players that once they leave the NFL within 2 years, they
Yeah, they
broke,
winding broke. Right.
and I'm wondering why. Like, if they got players that was in the NFL before them, why the players that was there, veterans and guys who retired, don't get to these guys and tell them, look, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to invest, you need to do this in order to protect themselves in the long run. I wonder, do they have that or anything
He's saying,
that
do
you
they
know of?
have? He's saying, do they have? Demetrius. He's saying, like, for the people who made it to the pro and who experienced those bad economical problems because it's a high percentage in the high 70 percentile they go broke. So why they don't come back to the school to try to talk about their experience so the future guys won't experience the same thing financially?
Now that's a good question, man. That's something that I wish that would happen. And they may do it now. I've been away for I'm not in school anymore, but I wish they. I mean, I don't know if they're doing it. I haven't heard anything that they have anybody come back and talk. That's
Right,
something that they need to do.
right,
When I was there, that wasn't a case. They would have guys come pretty much and tell us not to get in trouble. But it wasn't guys that tell you how to think about financial management in the future, or not even that, not even about football, man. It's about, okay, guys, it's time to transition over from football to the
life,
work world.
life.
To you got to pay this Georgia power bill,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
got to pay this
yeah,
mortgage, and now you got this baby that needs to be fed.
right.
So it wasn't that. We didn't have that. We
I
had
think,
Christmas.
but I think though, that was a good question, Cleve. But I think every school should implement that.
Well, I brought this up, and they might have forgot, but the time that Florida played Michigan here, I kind of brought it up, and I need to revisit to down to the University of Florida. I was like, how about bring in, you know, the guys that was in school here and played ball that's regular, and talk to the young guys about life after football, because it's not really realistic to bring in, because they used to bring in, now we did have Chris Carter. I don't know if he played receiver
Yeah,
Yeah,
at Minnesota
yeah, Chris
Vikings. They
Carter.
brought
Yeah,
him in a
yeah,
couple of
yeah,
times, but he he
yeah,
he
Chris
talked
Carter.
about drugs, because it was, I think he had a story with drugs.
yeah. He
So
had, yeah, he
yeah,
had,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So they brought him in to do that, but they never really did bring anybody to talk about life
finance.
after football. It's not even about finances. It's so much.
It's
It's
like
just,
football.
big dog. You got to think about it. It's a shell shock to be. You go from ninth grade, starting varsity, all the way through college. You a rock star in college. Y'all win a national championship, SECs, and
Right,
then all of a sudden you are, renting cars at Enterprise.
right. You're a regular Joe. Yeah,
You,
yeah, yeah.
you,
So it
you,
does,
you see, you see what I'm saying? So it's kind of,
yeah,
it's some humble pie you got to eat.
yeah.
But not only that, you go from people telling you how great you are, and everybody wanna hear your story, to, I mean, it's time to work, man. Your resume better get tight, and you better start doing some volunteering, and you better start doing some stuff, bro, because the world ain't fair when when they, every year that goes by, that national championship get a little bit older.
That's
And let's
true.
let people remember who you were. I'm gonna
That's
tell you
true.
that now.
Yeah,
It's just like when the Cats. If you ain't Tom Brady or one of these big boys, they can't tell. I can't tell you. Jermaine Stringer played. With the Kansas City Chiefs. I can't tell you that, but I know that because
right,
that's my boy.
right.
But it's little people. You know, he had the gas station at Quick Trip just like everybody else.
That's
You
right.
know, so it's tough, bro. And
Yeah.
you got to think, you know, for most people, like they go, you know, and they regular, you know, not regular, but they students, and you know, they do little karate and little things like that, and they kind of used to. But you got these kids that's, you know, going to some of these high schools and they everything, man, and everybody telling them how great they are, and they get to college and they might even be that great too. And then all of a sudden, you know, the draft don't turn out for them, and they don't get picked,
Right.
and
Right.
you know, you got a little bit of embarrassment, you got a little bit of
Right.
everything that comes with that, bro. That's shit. You need to get counseling, you know, because
Yeah, it's a lot of pressures coming from the inner city
yeah,
because a lot of kids they're thinking, man, I'm able to take care of my family because we come from poverty. So yeah, I
big
understand
dog.
it comes with it too.
Yeah, yeah, it's serious, bro. But then again, you know, a lot of ball players are resilient, and a lot of guys, you know, if you got that, you just got to reflect back on getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning running. You got to keep that same fight, but you just have to put that energy to a different place.
There you go.
So you know, and that's what most of us do. Most of us, you know, I got a lot of success stories. That guys that didn't make it, but you know they working at pharmaceutical sales companies, they running construction companies. So you do have a lot of great stories out of this. Now, do not get it twisted. It's some boys doing a lot of great things,
Right.
but it's sad to see, you know, guys that actually did make it. That's, you know, just hurting, or guys that, you know, didn't make it, but they just don't know where to go next. And you look up, man, and we 43, 44, 45 years old, and we still, the only claim to fame we got is going back to Gainesville and hoping somebody recognize you and know your role.
Right.
And
Right.
that's sad, and I see it, bro. So,
Yeah. 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 I think a lot of people get caught up, and even the ones that I think that's just part of a jock life. They always want to be remembered at because that was like the apex of their life, where they just want to be remembered at that point. But like you say, there's life after sports, there's life after football. So I think a lot of times they just get caught up because again, they get all this attention, as you mentioned earlier. And they like you said, they gotta humble themselves and come back down to
yeah.
the rest of the world of everyday
Oh,
people, you know.
and the moral of the story is something that you said earlier. And you asked me who was there for you. I'm gonna say God. God was there for me because everybody needs somebody to be there for them to keep them composed and just say, hey, you might make it, you might not. You know, you need that male figure, you need that person to be
Right.
there. You know, just to keep you on flat line. You know, that's why, you know, I do, you know, appreciate when I do see some of these kids that seem like they really, really got it together because, you know, they got somebody in that corner. And you
Right.
need somebody in your corner. When you got these kids, you need that good mom, that good dad, that good
Moral
papa.
support. Moral
Yeah,
support.
you need that. You know, you gonna get out of touch, you know, but at least you got them that could smack you on the hand and bring you back every now and then. So that's, you know, that's pretty cool, man. That's a good deal. I had a good experience though. Good experience. Nothing will change. Um, I love them boys. They're my brothers. We can always talk. We can always kick it. I do anything for those guys. Anything, anybody in high school, college,
Yeah.
anybody I play ball. It's one big frat, man. It's just like you're running somebody, you know, and you seen somebody that played football. You know somebody on that team, so
Right.
it's like you all got that one thing in common, even to this day. So, and
Because
occasionally, man,
y'all share some
I
great moments together.
see our moments, and I run into guys on the movie sets, that played. There's a couple guys that work in transportation, and I think I had a couple guys that played at Auburn with Bo Jackson. So we'll shoot the shit and tell a couple stories, and he might bring a ring in, I might bring a ring in. You know, we'll tell a couple lies and we'll keep it moving, man. Yeah.
Oh man. Cleve, you got any more
That's
questions,
good
brother?
stuff. That's good stuff. Nah, I just really enjoy, the conversation because, a lot of these kids, are going off to college and thinking that, they're gonna make it to the NFL, and that's not guaranteed.
Right.
I had a couple of, guys, a friend of mine, who played college ball. He played at Mississippi State. Then he got injured, and that was basically, the end of his career. But if he wouldn't have got injured, who, who knows? He probably would have made it
Yeah.
to the NFL.
Yeah.
But it's you have to really look for other things besides sports. But like you said, after sports, you got to have something else, to fall back on. And my nephews and all the young guys I was talking to when they was in high school, like, listen, y'all gotta have a plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D, because
Right.
it's not guaranteed that you're gonna make it, to the pros. It's not even guaranteed that you're gonna make it, on a team, on
Right.
the college level. So, just listening to your story is a blessing, because
Yeah.
I've seen guys, who make it to that level, to play college ball. Another one of my classmates, well, he's not my classmate, he was under me, but he actually made it to the NFL and played with my team, the New York Giants. But he ended
Right.
up getting cut because one of their linemen went out and they had to cut him to get somebody else.
Right.
And just that fast, boom, changed his
Right.
whole life. But and he's doing big things now. He's working, providing for his family and everything.
Right.
So yeah, so it's a good thing when we don't see these stories. We don't see these stories of people,
Yeah.
hide what's going on with them after sports. And to me, that these stories is better than the ones who made it big, and out there you see them in public, they won't even speak to you. They won't even acknowledge. I mean, you wave to them or say anything to them, they won't even speak to you.
Right.
But these stories right here, to me, these stories are more important than the other ones.
I think I can hear you now, Cleveland.
Can you hear me now?
I got you, man. It was probably my headphones.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you say you can hear you now.
Okay. Well, I just said a mouthful.
Go ahead.
But look, basically what I was saying, basically what I was saying is, stories like yours and a lot of people I know are great stories, because life after football is basically, what you were speaking on. Like, it's good to hear these stories because we don't get a chance to talk to the people,
Right.
who actually played at that level, and now they living normal lives, and they able to provide for their family, they're able to, to be out here in society and do great things. So it'd be great if we could get stories like this all the time,
Right.
guys who yeah, they played at a high level and everything, but now,
Right.
they had to, for different reasons, provide for their family, or they had a child, so they had to walk away from the game, or they got injured and they had to walk away from the game. So these stories is great. I love this.
What you was about to say, D?
No, I mean, and really, they just, everything comes to an end, bro.
Yes.
Every I don't understand what it's
Facts.
it's kind of like you got to think about it though. It's kind of like now, as an adult, me and the wife, we'll think about, what we got to do, we won't be young, we won't be able to support these kids forever. So we got to prepare them. We got to prepare ourselves.
Yeah, prepare for your future as well.
Correct.
Right.
So you got to always be thinking about that, because that's life. As men, we got to be thinking about it. It's, we supposed to be the head of the household, and we got to make sure, God forbid, if I don't wake up in the morning,
Right.
I want to make sure these guys have something to eat. I want to make sure they still go to college. I want to make sure they still get what I would have seen them do if I was here. So we got to always be thinking about that. And that's the same for these guys as young men when they leave the house in high school, mom, dad, uncles, pastors, whoever need to be saying, okay, guys, you got an excellent opportunity. You're going to play football, but always keep pretty much at that time in the forefront that you will have life after football, because at that time you're looking at about 4 or 5 years left to play. If
right.
And that's so just always be thinking about the future. But you got to live for today, and you got to work hard for today. But it's like when we working out, bro. We working out. Your health is your wealth. We working out so we can maybe be around here a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing it for tomorrow, but we're doing it for today too. We got to get our ass up, and we got to get in that gym at 5:30, and we got to run on that treadmill and work out for today. And
Right.
So
I gotta say this story too this morning, right? So I worked with D yesterday, and I'm just sitting down. I wake up early. D was like, "Hey man, come on, let's go work out." I'm sitting back, kick back watching TV. He's like, "Come on, man." I was like, "I don't have any shoes." So he was like, "I got a pair." So what he did was he already had a pair of shoes on, which he had they was relatively new shoes.
They were new. They are new.
I have a pair. I got my boots on, man. I have my boots on. So what he did though, I salute him for that. I salute you for that, because what he did was he took off his shoes, right? He let me use his shoes, and he went and got his old pair of shoes instead of him giving me his old pair of shoes.
Dog.
Huh?
I put on some slippers.
No, there wasn't no slippers. They were slippers.
Some Skechers slippers.
Yes. Okay, Skechers slippers. All right, Skechers slippers. But anyway, my point that I'm making was he didn't have to do that. So I salute him for that. But that also showed that he has a lot of humility. So I commend him and salute him for that, because that showed me he has character. And with that being said, that made me more open to him. You know what I'm saying? It let me know that he's a real, he's solid. You know what I'm saying? So I felt that from the heart. I didn't tell him that, but I'm telling you that right now. I appreciate that, because you didn't have to do that, because honestly, like I told you, I said, I'm going to go home and do my little workout at my apartment.
When I first met you, man, you came with good referrals, man. I had, in the bank gave you a good referral, and I think Dexter Boyce gave you a good referral, so I knew you were good, man. They
put the stamp on me.
Stamp on you, so you were good. Even I know you. If you doing an interview and you associated with this guy, I know you right there with him, man. So
yeah,
y'all having me on today, bro.
Oh yeah, this is almost 25, 30 years. Well, it's probably longer than that. Probably
about
30.
Yeah,
about 30 years of friendship.
Yeah,
I've been knowing him. I went to North Atlanta. I graduated in '95.
Okay, so did you play football?
Yeah, I played football. I remember.
Oh my God!
I remember.
So you remember? So they used to call me Meathead.
I remember playing. So I graduated '95.
Yeah, you was
my 9th and 10th grade year, we played against Southwest DeKalb.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
We played against y'all every year. No, I remember.
Yeah, we did.
Not for anything, bro, but I remember North Atlanta. We played y'all, I think, at Lakewood Stadium. For the most part, when we did play y'all, and North Atlanta at that time, they wasn't. We wasn't. We wasn't. My 9th and 10th grade year, we was pretty decent, but after that, it went down. But I remember. So I remember. I used to talk to Quincy Carter. We all went to summer school together, so I remember Quincy and all of them. Oh, good. Yeah. Well, yeah. Them all my boys, man. We all kick it. We all, good guys. Bunch of good guys. Everybody get into different stuff.
Yeah, man.
But they still, at the end of the day, man, everybody got a big heart, man. That I knew, and that was down there. That I played with. When you in the trenches, when you in the trenches, when you waking up early in the morning, man, and it's everything, man. Them young boys going through some stuff. That's why I know they can make it outside of football. Because
right.
Some of the stuff that you go through,
It's little kids having grown folks growing up with grown folks problems.
Coach Spurrier and Buck Godfrey.
Yeah.
That was kind of huge, man. I mean, Coach Godfrey was making kids run in the sand pit, and Coach Spurrier used to make the whole team, including himself, snake the swamp, bro. I mean, we used to go up and down every row of that stadium. I don't seen it. And this coaching and all. I don't seen guys have a heart attack on that stadium because we working out.
Oh, athletes?
Yes, sir. Careers don't end it snaking that swamp, big dog.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
woo.
Hey, the shape that these kids are in, that's why when you see a kid leave his senior year and they come back his freshman year of college and you see him for the first time, it's a big difference.
Right.
Stuff that they go through and the big stuff. Difference. It ain't that he on steroids or he on such and such. No, man, them boys at it, man. They eating good. They priming, man. So that's why you see that. You got somebody that's following you around.
They go from boys to men.
They follow you around.
They putting that work in.
Reps. You got somebody counting reps. So you ain't cheating. This ain't like, when you at Southwest at the cab and Buck Godfrey say, go over there and give me 10 reps so you get 8, and no, buddy. You got maybe B's in the group and somebody calling putting a check by your name for every rep you just did. Yeah, so everything is accounted for because it's money. Money on the line now.
Yeah, that's true.
Man. Yeah. Yeah, we just gave you a full ride, D. Lewis. $27,000 a year.
Right. And as a matter of fact, your performance, as a team, that performance bring in other students.
One thing too, do let these kids know that a scholarship is only 1 year.
Yeah.
A scholarship, an athletic scholarship is a 1 year deal. You will have to renew and sign that scholarship
each year,
every spring. And I have seen it done that if you coming now, goofing off, and not taking care of business in that classroom and on the field, you better be doing at least one. They will not renew your scholarship.
They're not tolerated.
And I've seen that done too. So you make sure you come in there and you take care of business. And parents, you make sure you let your kids know that because that's why you see somebody and then you don't see them no more because something happened.
Something happened. And somebody was nothing up. Somebody lost focus. Somebody lost focus.
There's a lot of little stuff out there. I mean, a lot of rules out there, a lot of things out there that people don't know about. But yeah, scholarship is only 1 year, man.
So, brother, in closing, we always do in closing. I know you just gave out some gems, but if you got some more gems, because we about to wrap, we almost at an hour now. You want to give out some final words for the listeners out here?
At the very end of the day, man, just be you. Stay humble. Don't get caught up in in the riffraff. If you go to school and you don't have to prove that you the tough guy, that you the thug, that you from the Gator, that you from the West Side. People gonna know who you are by the way you walk and you talk and you carry yourself anyway. Right. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, bro, man, I don't seem to done a lot of stuff like I said, but when I went to school, I changed. I wasn't in the proving game. I wasn't the one that's going, I'm from Decatur, I'm from Atlanta, I'm from, Hollywood Road, West Side. I wasn't that type of guy,
Right.
And I would just say that to anybody, just don't do that. But do what I did not do. You focus on getting a major that's gonna make you some money and something that you love too, but don't go to school for just anything. Take advantage of the scholarship, and I don't care what college you go to. If you're getting a free ride, if you're paying, well, even more if your folks paying, take advantage of it. You only live one time. Bust your ass, go hard in the paint like that football field. Because once you do it when you're young, it's hard to try to revisit this stuff when you 30 and 40 years old. You want to go back to school. You don't want to do that. So do it now. Why you don't got bills? Why you don't have too many responsibilities?
Right.
And the only thing, man, I had to, that I wanted to say, and if anybody need to talk, they can reach out to you, and you can get in contact with me, and I can sidebar anybody at any time, because I am passionate about, going back and talking to kids about life after football, because it is sad, because some of my brothers, it's they're not in really good situations, or they're not in the best situation they could be right now.
Right.
It's due to it just that's the way. I mean, I guess that's the way the cookie crumble, or we could have prepared, and we could have talked to each other a little bit more, and we could have pushed each other a little bit more. So just like we push each other on that football field, we can push each other in the classrooms. We can push each other to get other majors. We can help each other out by getting jobs. We can do stuff, man. So we just can't forget about each other, man. Because I hate to say it, but what the guys that I talk to all the time, black men, us three, we dinosaurs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be rare to, it's sad, but it's rare to even see this stuff.
Right.
So we really got to help each other out. Just like females come together and then they bond. I love to see that stuff, but we don't do that yet, and we need. So the only thing I got to say, bro, man, I appreciate y'all having me on, bro.
Hey, man, we appreciate you. Cleaver, you got any final words, please?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I definitely appreciate you coming on here, Demetrius, and spitting that knowledge on the level of high school, college, and what it looks like after college. And just my last words, just like you said, set goals. If your kids going to college or whatever, set goals and have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C, and a plan D.
And never let pride, destroy you. So if you got to stoop down to do anything, if you got to go work at Kroger or Walmart for
do that, right?
You got to do it.
Do it.
I don't care what your past was. You just got to do it, man. So
right. You can't live off your past. You only living off your present.
You
get
can't.
too proud to make $10 an hour, $15 an hour. Get out there and let's go, man, because you got to start someplace.
And I just want to say, to close it out, I just want to say, D. Lewis, thank you, man, for blessing us with this interview. I appreciate you, brother. For the kids out there, I hope this touched somebody. If we can reach out here and touch one young man, young athlete who's inspired to get into sports and take it to the collegiate level and hopefully make it to the pro, because it's not promised. Take something out of this and make themselves a lot more prepared, physically, mentally, and spiritually, so they can get through those boundaries. But again, like we said, the name of the subject is life after sports. You're not going to play sports the rest of your life. You could be at the top of your game. You might make it to the pro, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to leave the pros. So now what? You still got to live you're still gonna have to live your life. You still got to share your life with others. You still got to exist on earth with the rest of us on this earth and share this humanly body experience that we're having. So on that note, I want to say peace out.
I appreciate it, brother. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
You too.